adding up. Yeah, I'm going to pick on you. What I want you to do for me, just roughly, just add those orders up for me please, because I've not had time to add them up. Yeah, don't nick any of my books.
We will do.
I know, I just need to know how many orders are there, how the value, roughly, you don't have to add it to the penny. And if you can let us know, that'd be great. Right, am I using this green clicky thing? Oh wow, right, so I've been in the business this year, I'm coming up to my 17th year in Clean Easy. And I'm going to take you through, can everyone see that, or does it need to go a bit higher? Can everyone see it? In 1993 we bought a pub in Wales, and we've lived in Holland for 11 years. I met my husband over in Holland, and our first child, Shayla, was born over there. And when she was born, I was told I couldn't have children, but I'm not going to go into all that. We never planned on moving. We had a good life where we were living, but when we had a child where we said we couldn't have children, it changed everything. And so when I was pregnant with Shayla, I decided there and then I didn't want to live over there anymore. We've been there for 11 years, we've got married over there, and so we started to look at businesses, and we knew that we wanted to work for ourselves, and so we started to save some money, and we wanted to go into something where we had the premises ready there for us, okay? In other words, maybe a cafe with accommodation, a bed and breakfast. And then we looked at the pub business and we thought, well, that's got everything, hasn't it? It's got bed and breakfast, it's got the food, it's got the bar, accommodation, so we can't really go wrong. And we ended up in Wales simply because it was a lot cheaper to buy a pub in Wales than it was in England. And we had a lot of friends in Wales because my daughter's godfather was Welsh, so that was where the Welsh connection came in. Is there anyone in the room that's Welsh tonight? Good. I can tell a few Welsh jokes now. Okay, so we lived there for 5 years. The reason we bought this pub, it cost us at the time in 1993 £89,000. And a pub similar to that in the Lake District, whereas where we would really have loved to have been, was £290,000. So there was a big difference. We couldn't really afford the 290, so we went for the 89. Unfortunately, I hope you're not putting this on Facebook, it was surrounded by, well, a lot of Welsh people who didn't like the English, and they made it quite clear when we got the pub that they weren't too keen on us having it, but there you go, we'd already bought it, so we just had to make do. So we stayed there for 5 years, and as it says there, we made a living, just, okay? And does everyone get that bottom bit? A landlady, or a landlord, I suppose then, never goes to bed on the same day she gets up. You'll have to work that one out for yourselves. I think that tells you something. Okay. So this is me, 17 years ago almost. Why I joined, how I joined. I joined Clean Easy simply because there was more going out than coming in. Was it Ken? Was it you? Yeah? Absolutely brilliant, because Clean Easy can offer you that extra money, can't it? And I needed £100 a week. I had a calendar which I didn't bring today, I only bring between some meetings, and I'd highlighted on that calendar all the bills that were going out. There was £100 a week going out more than coming in, and that's what we needed to bring in. We couldn't even afford to get our haircuts. We had to do our own haircuts with the scissors and cut the little lad's hair, as you can see from there. So £100 a week is what I needed to bring in from Clean Easy. Now, I could talk all night, but Tim's only giving me 3 hours, so I'm going to do my best, okay? So, there we are, that's Joe. Joe was 1 year old. As you can see, I started without a car. I carried 100 catalogues this way, some underneath his bottom, some in the bag, some in the rucksack. And we used to go out on foot. As you can see, Joe was really happy, he loved doing Clean Easy. And we did about 100 catalogues this way. And one thing I will say, you can lose quite a lot of weight doing Clean Easy, you can get quite fit. Unfortunately, I have a car now, so things have changed a bit, I don't get as much exercise. I joined to be there for my children, to be there for them every step of the way. And I'm proud to say that I've achieved that goal. And if Clean Easy went tomorrow, it's not going to go tomorrow, but if it went tomorrow, I can honestly say I'm so proud of what I've achieved in this business. It's not just about the income. I've been there for these children every single step of the way. And I remember when I joined Clean Easy, people used to laugh at me walking around like that. Oh, there's that Clean Easy lady. Well, I actually earn more than the headmistress of the school where they all laughed at me. So that gives you some idea what you can achieve if you stick with this business. And what's funny about that, when we started off with Joe in the pram with all the catalogue, he used to be really high up in the pram. And as we took him out, he went lower down. So he used to come home down here but start up there. Sorry, on there it does say how I joined. I actually joined just very quickly through a newspaper advert. I got 3 information packs in the post. 3 people never rang me. So there's a little tip for you. And one of those, I can say it now because he's not in business anymore, one of those people that didn't ring me, and I rang him, and he never returned my call, was Clarke Prosser. So I would have actually been in Clarke Prosser's team, and he never contacted me. So, next one. Okay, the Clean Easy roller coaster. Oh wow, I didn't think that was great. Cool, isn't it? I never even knew how to work a computer or a mobile phone before Clean Easy, so I'm quite proud I put this together. Clean Easy roller coaster. Anyone on the roller coaster? Anyone had any ups and downs? Right, we all do. It doesn't matter how long you've been in the business, how high up you are, how big your check is, you're all going to have ups and downs in the business, and it doesn't change. I still get them all the time. Challenges all the time. But if your wife's big enough, you will be able to handle that roller coaster. Now my children have grown up and left home, my why's gone, hasn't it? My why was for my children. And suddenly I don't have that passion anymore because they don't need me anymore. They're both, well, you'll see in a minute what they're up to, but so your why will change as you go through the business, that's what I'm trying to say. What you're actually going for today might not be your why in 5 years. And challenges will happen on your journey. And that's just the way it is, it's not going to change. Just as it would happen if you were in a job. You're going to have challenges along the way. I'm not going to tell you all about the challenges I've had because I won't fit it in 3 hours, but last year the challenge I had was my dad, who is nearly 90, had a big heart operation. A lot of that team already know that. At 89 he had a double bypass, a pig valve replaced in there, and last month, March, he had a pacemaker fitted. And earlier this year I found out that my sister, who's 3 years older than me, is very, very ill as well. So challenges are going to happen in life. And if I'd have had a real job, I would have really, really struggled last year. Because I was not only there for my kids who don't really need me that much anymore, last year it changed around completely and the why changed to being my dad. So my why then is not what my why is now. Don't get me wrong, I still love my kids. But back then, obviously the money was needed to bring these 2 up, and it's expensive bringing 2 children. That's how they looked when I first joined, in the boxes there. We don't get those boxes anymore, do they? I really miss those big coffee boxes. But Gavin Scott's got them all, hasn't he? We all know Gavin Scott's got his money in them under his bed. So, has it all been worth it? All the ups and downs of the roller coaster? Well, these are some of the things that Clean Easy has allowed me to do. That's my gym. I don't get there very often. I do try to get there as often as I can. Now the reason I show you that picture, that's not in my home by the way, just to get this right, yeah? It means I can go to the gym when I want to go, and I can go when it's quiet. I do go now and then when it's busy, and I just think, oh, what am I doing here with all these people? I don't like to be around too many people. So that's the time I go. I like to swim, a bit of sauna, a bit of jacuzzi. Sometimes I might go on the treadmill, but not for very long. So, bringing up my 2 children was my main goal, and as we said before, Jay was talking about childminding costs. Well, that tells you how much I saved by doing Clean Easy. I worked it out. About £66,000 I saved. More importantly, I brought up my 2 children. I didn't want to give my children to somebody else. It's painful, isn't it, giving birth, and then you're going to give them to somebody else to look after. Maybe some of you have had to do that. But all I can say is I didn't want to do that, and I wasn't going to do that. So when I started Clean Easy, I went out there, 18 months on foot, rain, snow, ice, you name it. Joe went out when he had chickenpox. I remember ringing up the doctor, his temperature was really high, covered in spots, and I just said to the doctor, listen, I've got 100 catalogues to bring in and my child's ill, and he said, take him out with you, it's no problem, fresh air will do him good. So whatever happened, we managed to do the business, and I've not had a day off sick in 17 years, I'm proud to say. So there you go. Don't have a boss to answer to. Now these are all the things that Clean Easy have done for me. I choose my own hours, I choose my days off. I actually look at the weather forecast. I don't mind putting books out in the rain. I don't like putting them out in the sunshine. I like to go walking. Go to the Lake District when it's sunny, put the books out when it's raining. And the great thing about Clean Easy is you can do that. If you want to put them out on a sunny day, that's great, but you don't have to. It gives me the income needed to better my lifestyle. Now I'm not one of the great big earners like Jackie White and a lot more. Abigail's on about £4,000 a month, but it gives me the income that I need to better my lifestyle, and that's what's important. I'm not interested in what the higher earners are earning. That's their choice, they put in the work for that. I'm happy with where I am in this business right now, and that's what's important. Holidays with the family, I've had lots of holidays with the family, Cornwall, Wales, Bournemouth, all down that way, Devon, Dorset. And the reason I put Norwich there is because my daughter's now moved to Norwich, so Clean Easy allows us to go and see her when we need to. And if there was any problems, we can just go just like that. It is about a 5-hour drive. I think I can get to Tenerife or Greece quicker than that, can't I? It is a 5-hour drive, but with her being at the end of the drive, it's well worth going. So what's good about that is that Norwich, does anyone know out that way, Norfolk Road, all that coast, you've got Great Yarmouth, and it's a beautiful area. We've spent a lot of time there over the last 3 years and we just absolutely love it. Some gorgeous beaches, so we get free accommodation and a kind of free holiday as well. But Clean Easy allows us to be able to go and do that. I have my little car, and I stress my little car because I love my little car. I'm not a big car person, and if I did get a Bentley from Clean Easy, I will very quickly sell it and get a Kia Rio, but a new model. So we're all different. That's what I'm trying to say. Not all of us are interested in big fancy cars, so you don't have to be a success in Clean Easy. I love the Lake District. I spend a lot of time there. I've just booked a long weekend away in June. And again, because of Clean Easy, you can book it when you want to go, and you can choose a place that you want to stay at. I could not have a proper job. I really, really couldn't. And the reason, I'm not going to talk about illnesses, but I do suffer badly with insomnia. And if I have a bad night, I'm awake at 2 in the morning, I sometimes have to take a power nap in the afternoon because I just won't get through the day. And therefore, on that note, I just could not hold down a proper job. I'd just be falling asleep. So with Clean Easy, I can adjust everything around. If I've had a good night's sleep, then obviously I can have a busy day, and if not, I can have a bit of a rest day. I can take my dad away for the weekends. He wants to go on the steamer on Ullswater next month, so that's on the cards. And I hope that if you're looking at all these things, I want to really stress, I think you're all seeing right now that a lot of these things are not expensive things. Right? They're not fancy things, and everyone in this room can achieve this from Clean Easy. Everybody can go to the Lake District and afford to run a little car on Clean Easy. You can go away for the weekends. Allows me to do my walks and take Freddie the Beddy out. I've adopted a dog, Freddie the Beddy. He's a Bedlington Terrier. I want a dog, my husband doesn't want a dog. He said if I get a dog, he's moving out. So I said, what happens if I get 2? How quick will you go? So I've always got that in the background. If I go in with a dog, he leaves, so, you know. But what's really good about that, Freddie the Beddy is from one of my customers. So can you see there's a pattern forming here. Because of Clean Easy, I now do have a dog, but it's not my dog, I just adopted. My 3 ladies, that's really, really important. And because of Clean Easy, one of my very good customers was desperate for someone to clean her little 1-bedroom flat. She wanted someone she liked, trusted, reliable, all these things, and somebody she knew. Who was it? Me. I didn't really want to do it, but to cut a long story short, she got round me. So then she asked me to do another lady and then another lady. So I do 3 ladies a week. It's 6 hours a week, and they do pay me. And I can fit it in around my business. But not only that, I've really bonded with these three ladies. And what's really special about that is, I lost my mum when I was 10, so I never had a motherly figure through my life. And every now and then, yes, you do think about it. You think, oh, I wonder what I've been like without my mum. And now I've got 3 of them. Okay, and I've got a dog. So with Clean Easy, all of these things wouldn't have happened. My Northern Soul nights, anyone into Northern Soul? Anyone heard of Northern Soul? Yeah. My passion. Do you want me to do a demonstration? Yeah. Northern Soul, I'm Jay. We'll get some music on. Northern Soul weekend, and yes, I still do all-nighters at the age of 53. First all-nighter with a casino when I was 14. But my dad thought I was in a caravan with a friend somewhere in the Yorkshire Dale, so he didn't know where I was actually going. Again with Clean Easy, Northern Soul is my passion. We go out every weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's if we can manage all 3. Blackpool weekend is a good one, if you want to come along round. That's going to be 1st of May, 2nd and 3rd, Blackpool Town Ballroom. Really need to want to come with us. You can go away when you choose, and that equals freedom, and that's what I love about Clean Easy. Okay, it is the freedom that Clean Easy has given me of why I'm still here. And the reason I put oh yes at the bottom, Malaysia, South Africa and Australia, throw that one in the hat as well. I have been to Malaysia, South Africa and Australia with Clean Easy, and I'm not going to show you loads of photographs of me in the pool, riding elephants and whatever else, because that's not what I'm here for. Clean Easy threw that in, but that's not what I joined for. I didn't join for the fast cars and the holidays. I joined for the freedom that Clean Easy gave me. And I did go on those 3 conferences. If you want pictures, then be my friend on Facebook and you can see me. My why now is completely different, isn't it? My why now is my dad and time for ourselves. Now I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but it's now giving us time for me and my husband to have a bit of quality time together. My husband worked away for 9 years, and he moved back home in July last year. It's been quite hard to adapt to, but I'm managing. With a bottle of wine in, it's achievable. So when you've had a husband that's worked away for over 9 years, and then they move back, it's quite a challenge. So, does anyone know Dunsop Valley, River Valley? Anyone get out that way, walking? It's absolutely beautiful, and it's free to walk around the River Valley. In the beginning with Clean Easy and with network marketing, you will do a lot for a little, but then you will do less for more. Does everybody understand that? You do a lot in the beginning for less, and then you will do less for more. And I'm sure Sat will explain retail training to you. You know, it takes a lot of work to get a customer base. A lot of time goes in, maybe for just a few orders, but when you get to a base, less time, more money. Can I have a value order on my orders, please?
205.
205?
Yeah.
How many books?
Oh, I didn't get the books.
13 I think, roughly. So £205 over there on 13 catalogues. That's what we call customer base. So there's £42 approximately in there, plus bonus on that as well. So there'll be about £50. And to do those catalogues, I think roughly took me about half an hour to put out, half an hour to pick up. So there's about £50 in there for an hour's work. But it took time to build that customer base, okay? So I'm quite happy with that. That's what Joe looks like now. And that's what my daughter looks like now. That's just to prove I have got 2 children. Also, they can't have any. Joe's 18, Shayla's 24. She's now left home, and we've still unfortunately got this one at home. He's doing an apprenticeship at the moment. Doesn't pay any board. Stays in bed all day. Doesn't talk to me. Lovely son. And Shayla, she's doing really well. She's been to university and got a degree, and she's moved over that way now. So one's left the nest. So a few tips for you, very quickly, because I'm here to also try and help you build businesses. You will need to learn to adapt, and I think Tim mentioned that earlier on about adapting. When my husband moved back home, boy oh boy did I have to learn to adapt very, very quickly, because when someone's not there 5 days, 5 nights a week, everything changes now. Just things like your follow-up calls that you would normally do in peace, and he's there talking to me all the time. So I've literally got to get out of the way to do my follow-up calls because he never stops talking. Get up after injury time. Now, I got that from my daughter, and that's really important because When I go to the gym, if I go 3 times a week for 6 weeks, I can feel a difference in my body, in my weight and my body. Just 3 times a week for 6 weeks. And usually, just when I feel I'm starting to get in a bit of a better shape, something happens. I might trip, I might have a sore ankle or a sore knee. And what do? I don't bother going to the gym. And I wait a while, and then 4 weeks go by, 5 weeks go by, and then I think, oh, I can't be going back now. And it takes me quite a while. And my daughter once said to me, when a football player gets injured, he doesn't lie there for 5 weeks, Mum. And I thought, yeah, she's right, they don't lie there for 5 weeks, so they get up and they carry on. So you need to get up after injury time. Don't prejudge others and be yourself. That's so, so important. And never compare yourself to others in this business. Don't get involved with all the negative stuff, and there can be quite a lot now with social media. I'm sure some of you have seen some of the groups and things like that. You've just got to shut off from it, because if you get involved in all the negative stuff, it's just going to bring you down. I mean, my day went right out the window today, because my order should have turned up this morning. I was going to bag it up this morning, my husband was going to deliver it at tea time, and guess what, it never turned up. I couldn't believe it. I thought, you're joking. I rang them up, there was something wrong with the system on Friday, and it didn't go through, so it won't come till tomorrow now. So it happens to everybody. This kind of stuff happens all the time. Follow your heart and your gut feeling. That is so, so important, because if it feels wrong, it probably is. If you don't like putting out 1,000 flyers a day, then don't do it. It's as simple as that. Don't do it. If you think you can put out 100 cards a day and you're happy with that, then do it. Because if you're doing something that you're uncomfortable with, you're going to probably find you're not going to do it, and if you're not happy with it. It's your business, and you've got to make sure that you're happy with what you're doing. Use pockets of time to build your business. I speak about that quite a lot to my team. Whether they listen to me, I have no idea. I do talk about pockets of time. And what I mean by that is, if I pick my lad up from work at 4:30, I'll go at 4:20. It's amazing what you can do in 10 minutes. You might need to call a couple of customers, a couple of team members. Don't call Saturday, because you need longer than 10 minutes. So, you know, you catch up on people that keep ringing you, and you think, oh, who shall I ring? Who keeps ringing me? And then you see Sat's number keep coming up. So you've got to give him a ring.
You enjoy that, really.
You know I'm going to enjoy. We've got a sense of humour up north, you know what I mean? Further up north. So, you can do a lot in 10 minutes. There might be a customer you need to call, a prospect. Customer might need a call about a return. So use pockets of time to build your business, because you can do a lot in 10 minutes, you can do a lot in 5 minutes. You have to be happy with what you are doing, because it is your business at the end of the day. Okay? So, for those who don't know Jim Rohn, I absolutely love Jim Rohn, and personal development, self-development is a massive part of your success in this business. Without it, I would not be here today, and that's an absolute fact. The first book I ever read, someone said to me about a self-help book, and I thought, that's a bit weird, but if it helps me, I'll go for it. And the book I first read was called Being Happy by Andrew Matthews, and I just absolutely love that book. Cartoons in it, my kind of book, easy reading, pick it up, put it down, and without that book I would not be here today. So time is more valuable than money. Would everyone agree? It's not all about the money, is it? Because you can get more money, but you can never get more time. Okay? And like I just said, my sister possibly might not be with us this time next year. No money can ever buy that time. Okay? The pain of discipline weighs ounces, whereas the pain of regret weighs tons. And that is so, so true. So you've got to put some work into your business. Because if it meant hard work with Clean Easy and not losing your home, or possibly losing your home, which is going to be the harder one, the work putting in or losing your home, which is going to be more stressful. So you have to face the consequences. Now what I mean by that very quickly is, I remember going to the health shop one Christmas, and the lady behind the counter was talking about she couldn't eat chocolate. She could eat this dairy-free stuff, but not real chocolate. And she said one Christmas it spoiled her whole Christmas just because she had one Cadbury's button. Her grandchild offered her a Cadbury's button and she had it, and she was ill for 3 days. It spoiled her Christmas. But she said it was my fault. I knew it was going to do that to me. But So basically what I mean by that is, if you don't put your catalogues out and you don't get any orders, well, that's your problem. You have to face the consequences of that happening. And what a difference a day can make in this business. If you are in a rut at the moment, change it, because you can change it. You can get up tomorrow, it's a new day and a new start, but I can't do that for you. You have to do it yourself. And the reason I put that picture on of the eclipse is that is the real eclipse that just happened. Because I work for myself, I got my good camera out and I spent all morning in the garden. I went out there about 8 o'clock and I saw it right from the very start, right to the very end. And I took loads of lovely pictures that are again on Facebook. And yet my other friends that were working in offices got horrible at the office window and they didn't get many good shots. But that to me cost nothing, but it felt so nice to be able to spend 2 or 3 hours in the garden and just enjoy the eclipse, and a lot of people couldn't do that. Clean Easy can give you the freedom. And very quickly towards the end now is, have you got a bucket list? Have you got any goals set? Because you have to have something to focus on in this business to move forward. That's my next one. Again, that's the Lake District, that's Crummock Water. For those of you who don't know the Lake District, it's a beautiful part of the lakes, and the bluebells will be coming out very, very soon. It's a one-off, it won't happen. You can't go there in July with the bluebells. Well, you can, but it won't look like that, okay? If you want to be there with the bluebells, you want to get there very, very soon. Have a look on the internet, find out when the bluebells are going to be out. And get some goals and stay focused, because that's what you need to do in this business. I think you've already seen that none of my goals are absolutely massively highly expensive things, because there's so many lovely places in this country that I haven't seen, and I plan on spending a lot of time this year in going around a lot of the places that I haven't seen in this country, and that's going to be one of them hopefully next month. So I am going to finish off. I hope that I've inspired a few of you and helped a few of you with a few ideas with your business. But you have to remember at the end of the day that self-discipline is needed. And, you know, if you are in a rut in this business, talk to your upline, give them a ring, and I'm sure they will really help you, get you going again. Sat's favourite one, isn't it, this one? You like this one, Sat, don't you? If I cannot do great things, do small things in a great way. So if you can't put out 1,000 catalogues like Sats to do every day, don't worry about it. Put 200 out, put 100 out. If you can't do 1,000 cards a day, think about maybe putting 100 out. Nobody can build this business for you. You have to go out there and you have to make it happen. Okay, that's it from me. Thank you very much.
Okay.